What's up, runners? I have an interesting VOD for you today. I'm going to do a bit of a live VOD review. We'll pause here and there and talk about it. But an interesting VOD that's going to prove to you that you can play this game solo. You are capable of it. And this VOD is proof because I can't imagine a worse setup to be going into solos with and still surviving. So, just to lay some groundwork, this was specifically made so that I could get screenshots for the long shot weapon review. I just wanted to go do some weapon inspect and get a screenshot and see if I can make something with that. So, what you're going to see is I loaded in with a long shot with no extra ammo. You'll see in the bottom right here where my mouse cursor is. I've got nothing. You'll see the bag later. It's just this. I loaded in expecting to die. That was the plan. I was going to get turned off to do the screenshots and everything, and you're going to see that we end up making it out. And it's not terribly long. It's not like a crazy hard grind that we did and made it out with a bunch of money. But if I can do this with no HUD, no gear, you can do this with your guns and with your sound on. Now, in addition to all that, I actually have no sound because I was just, going to record. So there's no sound in this except for one point where somebody talks in the VoIP, and that went through to whatever sound was set up to output. That went out, but nothing else got into this clip because my sound was off. So maybe I'll have some background music to give you a little bit of ambiance while we're going through here. Like you'll see I'm just running around, hitting the weapon inspect in a place where I think maybe this will be a cool thumbnail. And that's it. I got the FPS counters at least. I was also testing smooth motion because Bungie did mention that in their optimization thing that they are seeing some people have success with smooth motion. So I felt like maybe I'll throw it on, see how it does. It's fine on some maps. I think it depends on how well each map performs initially, and smooth motion kind of can make that up. But as you can see, playing solo is obviously a very tense experience for most people, and most of the time you are kind of paying attention to everything around you to try and catch people. I'm running through here. I can't hear anything. The best I can do is look. I got some screenshots. I decided I'm going to go to algae ponds. I'm going to sit up at the top, and I'm going to look somewhere and see if I see some people to shoot at, and that's pretty much it. I'm not planning on getting a kill and getting out of here. I'm just planning to hopefully scare somebody before I end up dying. The thing about audio is a 360 degree awareness setting, right? Like if you can hear your left, your right, behind you, everything that you can't see with your computer screen, you can hear. So arguably sound is more important than what you can see, except for, hitting your shots. But if you know where sound is coming from, you can at least try to avoid it. With the visual setup we have going on here, I'm just going to jump up top and I'm going to go find a corner to stare out over a distance and hope somebody walks into where my reticle should be. I'm also going to toggle more settings up here just to mess with them. But normally if I'm playing solo, which is very, very rare, I'm doing a little bit of a series. I'm hopefully going to be able to stream some more, but a little bit busy. But I'm going to stream some more of it and try to do some short challenges while playing solo just to see how crazy the experience is. But generally when I'm playing solo, I'm not pushing gunfights a lot. I'm playing a bit more in my lane. Now, I'm still playing fast. As you can see, I kind of just sprinted out over here because most people are going to be playing slow. I don't know what that was. That was something.
Came downstairs.
So I do have some audio. You can tell I was talking. I was talking to somebody in the house, probably my fiance, or talking about one of the cats or something. Now, when you're playing solo, yes, you want to kind of take your time. You want to look around, make sure you're not getting snuck up on. You want to be looking ahead, making sure you're not walking into some kind of ambush. But if you just wait around all day, you're not going to really find anything. Landmining is fine, which is what I would consider calling it when you crouch in one spot and wait for somebody to step on you. It's fine. I think it's more appropriate to do that if you know somebody is nearby. When you do know that someone's nearby, taking the time to reduce how much noise you're making can give you better odds at actually killing them. And it's kind of something we talked about in just our Survive More series. But when you're playing solo, there's like nothing else to protect you from AI, nothing to revive you, and no one to have your back. So taking the time to scale up a distance by having your back to a wall or your side to a wall is much more preferred in solo than playing in a team, and it can actually save your life. Playing and making sure you're paying attention to things that trigger you to know that someone's there. For example, that tad pulse. The only reason I knew somebody was coming this way is because of that tad, and this guy messed up and hit the tad. So that's the one sound that I had heard before. I didn't hear the bit of me talking before, but that guy yells "bro" when he gets sniped. But yeah, the one thing that you have to be on the lookout for at all times, and this is much easier with sound on, is waiting for somebody to make a mistake. If that mistake is stepping up onto you when they don't know you're there, whether that mistake is hitting the tad so they can see where you are, if that mistake is using an ability that they shouldn't use, you want to be waiting for someone to mess up, because people will mess up. And that's when you want to take a fight. So by this guy hitting the tad, he messes up, and that means I get the opportunity to turn around and shoot him. And he loses for it. I hit the tack visor here just to help see him, because I kind of assumed this guy would be jumping over a wall or trying to play sneaky, but he was just there in front of me. And there you can see there was no inventory. I had nothing. So this guy came in on a free kit, had no shield basically. We got one shot headshot, but I still get to take his gun here, and now I have a bit of a kit going. So I decide maybe I'll shoot some bots because I got nothing else to do. Hit up their secured resources that are right next to us, and go ahead and try and loot that. Skip ahead a little bit here. They do a bit of looting in this building, and you'll just see generally if I don't hear anything, if I'm uncertain if there's an enemy nearby, I will generally play with my gun out, and I won't sprint, I'll walk. Because walking is actually a lot quieter than sprinting. If you're not sure and you want to have the extra time to react to somebody potentially being, in the building with you, just make sure you're walking. If you want to get in really close, you can crouch walk, but at most of the time, the walking speed is totally fine, and that is a slow enough speed for your reaction speed to keep up. If you're totally certain there's no one here, you have your sound on and you can tell that there's no one near you, then go ahead and sprint and make that noise. It doesn't really matter. I see that arms locker here, so I'm going to go ahead and swing that open. I've got like one shot left on my long shot. I'm just holding on to it because who's going to throw away a long shot? It costs 3k to buy one of those, right? I am just kind of hitting up here, just hoping that maybe I'll pick up something decent. Volley rifle is a very big pickup. Potentially something I was going to take, but I just go with the M77 because I have it on and I already have a couple battlers in my vault, and I have a couple schemas available for them. So I just figured I'll run the M77. I don't run the M77 often enough. So I'm going to tell you a little spoiler. There is one more person who shows up here. But as you can see, mostly when I'm walking around these rooms, I'm kind of trying to point my camera in the direction where somebody might walk in on me, and trying to keep an eye on where enemies could be. Here I decide I'm going to go ahead and just take the secured resources here, so I might as well shoot the bots a little bit and take advantage of the swarm directive headshot chip that I have on, where it makes flechettes. And I kind of also want to see how much the flechettes heal, so I'm kind of just trying to spawn them here and end up taking some damage and seeing how they do. Surprisingly, pretty decent chip. It's more healing than I thought you would get for it, in all honesty, which makes it kind of enticing, and I wish you'd be able to buy it a little bit earlier rather than having to wait till you get blue or purple chips. But yeah, I'm mag dumping these bots. It's faster to shoot them than it would be to knife them here. I can't really take the risk of knifing them, especially the blue bot, when there's the potential for other players to sneak up on me. If you're playing in trios, knifing is a lot easier because you have that added security layer. If you're playing solo, knifing is a good thing if you're going to run up on some chaff, some white shields that you can one-shot or very quickly kill. That is great. If you're playing solo and you don't know where the enemies are, or if someone's watching you, you might as well shoot them. It's a lot safer. So here, I have drone up. I'm going to go see what's out there, just double check and see if I'm in any danger, and I don't see anything. And I go ahead and I'm going to decide to just hit that secured resources to go ahead and hopefully get some loot out of that. If I'm going to take a quick extract, hopefully soon, then it's at least a decent payday. For most situations, I think the secured resources are kind of low on the ranking for profit opportunities. They don't really generally have great stuff. A lot of times they'll just have some green guns, and that's like fine if you're trying to gear up, but it's not the most profitable in terms of going against something like the anomaly or even the secured, not the secured resources, the intercept on perimeter is better. So at this point, I know somebody's here. Somebody's trying to take a fight with me. And if you don't know why, I'll tell you why in just a second. I'll take it back so you can see. But I'm going to go look for a guy. I'm going to take him to high ground. And he just happens to be on the roof. I see the AI shooting him. Take some shots at him. And he's going to back up here. He doesn't want to take that smoke and he wants to heal. So obviously, I'm not going to give him the time to heal. I'm going to push that. Even if I can't hear him, I know he's in that rough direction. And I get the sniper shot, which is just a body shot, I think, to get the down, because he was already one. Anything probably would have killed him, but I was taking no risks. I wanted the one shot with the sniper that I had left. So he's got a couple gears, couple green meds on him. Nothing crazy. So I just loot him, and I'm going to do a quick skip forward, because go ahead and hit the box, and it's got a enduring sidearm here with a purple chip, which, in all honesty, it's probably just taken the chip and left the rest of the gun, but I squeezed the whole thing in there because I know the enduring will increase the price of the chip, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that it was entirely worth it, I'll be honest. Probably better to take out one of these mods or some of the materials, but we get some of the stuff out. I get a green shield, get some meds. It's pretty decent, all things considered. Could have been much worse for going in with a long shot with no ammo and no meds and nothing else. So now that you've seen that, take back really quick to before we fight this guy. And I want you to see the two ways I know this guy is coming. Because I actually knew this guy was going to be here before I even hit this box. Because when I exit that drone, you'll see my drone falls out of the sky and explodes, which is typical of an enemy shooting the drone. And there's not a lot of enemies here, UESC, that were shooting the drone that I saw. So I'm kind of already on edge that somebody might have shot that drone out of the sky. And then I'm still shooting the bots, because what else am I going to do? If they push me, they push me, you know? So I'm shooting the bots, but I'm kind of on the lookout for something that will tell me that there's a player here and where they might be coming from. Generally, I think in this room, yes, there's a lot of open spaces here, which I'm not too worried about because dying is not the worst thing to happen to me. I did what I came to do. But the right side feels like a spot where if they killed that drone that was in the middle, they couldn't really be behind me and shoot that. They'd have to be really high up, and if that's the case, then I die. But I'm taking the gamble that there's a 50% chance they're not behind me, they're somewhere in the field of vision of this direction. Now, if they were far to the left and they go all the way around and come behind me, good on them. But that's good enough odds, I think, to just look in this direction still, because that's where they shot my drone. Now, what you'll see here is this little explosion, which I think is actually the mechanical rockets from Search and Destroy on Locust. Potentially not. That might just be the drone up above getting hit and dying. But he kills the drone up here, and you can see the drone that is like the normal suckbot kind of exploding and landing on the roof, which pings me off that there's somebody who's up above who's shooting something above me. So my first thought is they're on the roof above me, which would be a decent spot for them to play in, all things considered, because they can sneak up there. So that's where I go to clear. I'm actually trying to clear the roof here. I'm just hoping that they're distracted by whatever bots they were shooting, that they won't hear me jumping up. But of course, he's not here. He's across the other way. Still, better for me to take this fight from up here than down in the cramped doorway where I can't really peek from very far. He definitely wasn't expecting me to jump up here. And then to get the drop on him, he's obviously taking hits from some AI, not for a ton of damage, or else he probably would have died. But I had two reasons to know where he was going to be, right? He shot the drone down, which tells me he's probably somewhere in this central area that can see here. And then he kills the drone that's on the roof, which my first thought would be that he was on the roof with me, but evidently he was not. He's on the roof across, and rookie mistake, he just shouldn't have shot the drone that was above me if he wasn't getting shot by it, which maybe he was, I don't know. He should have left it alone. And then we go ahead and we loot up, like we saw before. I hit the extract, and then I just pop a squat behind a box. There's not much else to do. My magazine's empty on the sniper. I've got, a stack of ammo for the AR because I'm gonna try and make some money off this at least. And I kind of just hang out here. I will go ahead and drone when the drone comes up to see if there's anybody watching the extract. I do find that Thief is pretty reliable to extract on as long as you're able to scout it out. You can kind of be on the lookout for any extract campers. It's not going to stop all of them, but it will help. Anybody else has their own way of gathering information or extracting safely. Locust has a shield, Destroyer has a shield. Vandal's just kind of fast. Invisibility on Void is good. Triage has at least a med drone. And everybody else has their own little bits and bobs. Bring a smoke grenade is a great way to go ahead and check that out. I actually miss a blue and a gold on the ground here. I don't know what those are. I didn't see those till just now. That's a blue sniper rifle, it looks like, and I can't tell what the gold is, unfortunately. Probably a matter fixative, all things considered. And we go ahead and we get out. We extract safely. So, it's the most glorious run of all time? No, definitely not. But my dad calls, so I called him back at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and just mute that just in case. I don't know what I say to my dad, but it can't be anything good. But you can see we made 1,202 in profit there. It's a little bit hidden behind, just in those greens and the credits. I sell the tac sidearm. I probably kept both the guns in just random. Sold the implants most likely, and then got a couple mats. For a game where I expected to just totally die in, I think it's a great turn up. It's definitely more value than I thought I was going to get, and it's almost halfway to buying another sniper rifle. So, if I can do this, what I want you to take away from it is, you could also do this. If you just play carefully and you're not going crazy with it, you can survive solo games. If you have your sound on and you can hear that guy shooting the bots and you know where he is, and you heard that Vandal jump up, even if the Vandal did not hit the TAD, if you have your sound up, you're probably hearing that person jump up the ladder. Awareness and putting yourself in a position where you're comfortable taking a fight is the most important part, I think, to surviving in solos. Yes, there are times where you want to know when it's okay to run away, but more importantly is just knowing that if you get into a fight, you have the better position is the first part. And the second part is knowing that somebody is trying to fight you. If you are ignoring sounds, if you're hearing footsteps and you can't tell between a bot and a player, then you need to practice learning what a bot and what players sound like, because they are distinct. Blackbird probably has the most bot-like sounds, but even then you can usually tell when it's a player opening a door, looting, doing all these kind of interactions with the map that the AI won't do. And then other times you want to be avoiding the AI, just reducing how much noise you make. And you'll find that you catch people off guard all the time, no matter what you're doing. And as long as you're playing to the strengths of your weapon and you're trying to minimize the advantages that another player could have, for example, if that Vandal had a shotgun, he never got within range to shotgun me, and that Locust maybe had a sniper rifle and it was probably dangerous to push that. But assuming he was on that roof with an assault rifle, I felt pretty comfortable hopping on the roof at least to clear it out. And then obviously he was far enough away that I was in the perfect range to go ahead and fight him with an assault rifle. You just want to be aware of yourself and what other people could be doing. The more information you have, sound, visual, makes it easier. But you are totally capable of doing a run like this, or at the very least, surviving more games. If survival is what you want, if that's what makes you feel like you're going to win, go ahead and focus on it, but just expect to be progressing a little slower. You can still progress inevitably. You can still get to the end. It's just going to take you a little bit longer. But if it makes you happy to survive, those are my top tips for it. And my motivation to you to go ahead and try to survive more. If you have to slow it down, slow it down. And if this helps you out, let me know down below. Hope to see you all again very, very soon. Thank you for joining me today.